Oh, it's so weird.
Right? Oh my god.
I'm just gonna not be able to like look at you. I'm gonna be looking at.
I'm not gonna look at you this whole time.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
just-
pretend that you're not here.
Just cross our vision.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Pink Floyd, the only podcast where we watch every movie ever made to see if it syncs up with Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler, and joining me in person is James Barron.
Hello, it's
Hello.
me, James Barron. Now, Gareth, I have to warn you at the top of the show, there's a 75% chance that one of the people on this couch is, in fact, infected by the thing. 1982 is the thing.
I'm infected by love of 1982's The Thing.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It was a very good movie that I had not seen and knew nothing about. Nothing about.
Oh.
What's your relationship with The Thing? And things in general.
Well, I love things. I like a lot of things, Gareth. It's true, but The Thing's probably my favorite horror movie. I said it last week. I think it's got really good use of like practical effects and just very suspenseful throughout. It's not like overly. It's like a horrific story that plays out, but like it's not too hard to watch, really. I think, because the effects are so like in your face, over the top. It weirdly like you aren't stressed watching it. I find, but anyway, that's my take. But yeah, I really love this film.
I feel like the movie knows how gross that effect is, because like you're supposed to feel shocked as the people seeing their friend turn into like a puppet spider blood flower.
Yeah, a nightmare abomination of blood and gore, pretty much. Yeah, it's definitely stressful.
Yeah.
But yeah, thoroughly enjoyable throughout. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. But how was experiencing it for the first time with 1973's The Dark Side of the Moon, Gareth?
I missed out because it's supposed to have such an iconic score.
Yeah.
And I've missed out on that.
That's true.
But I
I
mean,
deprived you of that. I'm so sorry.
I don't think the score was one of the greatest selling albums of all time. So maybe it was better.
There you go. Never know.
Did you miss not having your score for this film?
That was alright. It's like it is really good. It just sort of adds to the suspense. It's a lot of like strange synths and like
cool.
Yeah. So it's sort of similar in tone anyway to the album. It's not too bad, but yeah, still very sad. I think Dark Side of the Moon added a whole like melancholy tinge to the whole feeling. Felt very hopeless throughout.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm getting older and like more sensitive, but I feel like horror movies are a sadder affair now. Like I'm feeling sorry for these people who are getting ripped apart or turned into, again, blood flowers.
Is that the official term?
I think it is.
Okay.
How else would you describe what these people turn into?
I couldn't possibly. It escapes my terminology, my capability of speaking.
It's like if you put yourself in a blender and then melted the blender in a Salvador Dali painting and then it escaped.
Yeah.
That's what you turn into.
I like that. Yeah, it feels very much like you have all the parts of a human being, but you put them all back wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've you've broken all your friends' humans and you're like, if I quickly glue them back, he won't notice. But he's going to notice.
Oh no. I want to mention, we have a special guest with us.
I thought she would have laughed at some point and given away her existence, and it's really been breaking away my...
Yeah.
I'm trying to be quiet.
Oh.
No, you're allowed to speak up. You can chime in.
Please welcome Maddie Smith back to the show.
Hi, everyone.
Oh.
Thanks for having me.
Your relationship with Dark Side of the Moon is getting a strange introduction because you're not huge on this album.
Well, no, my introduction was the introduction with you. So,
God.
I've been thrown into the deep end.
Very much
I'm just
so.
kind of forced into the deep end. And no, it's been good. This was actually my first time watching one of these things, and it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you actually had a good
It
time.
was good. It was good. I mean, it was a bit weird seeing it roll off for the third time.
Oh yeah,
But,
that happens. Sometimes fourth.
Still, I myself noticed when he sinks, but this is not my podcast, and I'll leave it to the experts.
Whoa. All right. See you later, Maddie.
Bye.
That was the Maddie Minute.
Oh man. No, feel free to chime in for
I
sure.
will, I will.
Yes. All right. Shall with that out of the way, shall we dive in?
Yeah.
To our discussion, Gareth.
Yeah.
Here live and in person.
In your lovely warm home.
Yeah.
So cozy on this couch. If I wasn't seeing a stomach turn into a mouth, I probably could have had a wee snooze.
Yeah, true. That's how we like to keep it here.
Yeah.
Nice and comfortable, but also on edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the barren promise. Okay. So yeah, this movie we start out with as we always do with Speak to Me. You know, we see like a UFO coming in and crashing on Earth. Now it's not super clear, I guess. Like, if the thing itself is flying this UFO, or if I like to think that it's infected on this ship of actual aliens and like kills them all, and that's why they crash into Earth.
That's cool. I like that a lot. I was picturing, once I kind of put the plot together, that the dog was driving it.
I love that too. It's a
little
very
husky
good
dog,
theory.
like pulling a little steering wheel.
Yes. Anyway, this happens 100,000 years in the past. Importantly. Later on when they uncover this UFO, the amount of ice on top of it dates it to, like, it's been buried for that long.
Cool.
It's been locked away for ages without being found, so yeah.
Do you think the Pink Floyd boys believe much in ancient aliens?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like there's one of them that's, like, really into it.
Yeah. He's, like, trying to get Pink Floyd to play an Ancient Aliens convention, and the other guys are like, oh, I don't know.
Not really feeling this.
Yeah, I believe that, people could have built the pyramids.
Yeah, it's maybe more likely. Who's to say? Alright, we're going to crash forward. It's we get the title, the setting, and etc. This movie's set entirely in Antarctica.
Yeah.
1982. Yeah. And we're getting a lot of, like, helicopter shots. With a helicopter in the background coming into land at a base, and there's a dog running around. This helicopter, the people in the copter are very intent on getting this dog.
Yeah.
They're trying to, like, snipe at it from the helicopter. It's not going well.
And we're getting this, like, picturesque helicopter and this dog frolicking to breathe, and then once the gun comes out, it turns into On the Run and takes its dark tone.
Immediately, yeah. It's like as soon as the album takes a turn, it's like, oh,
yeah,
we've misjudged this relationship between helicopter pilot and dog. But yeah, it's no good. No poor wee dog.
Yeah.
Then we cut to our boy McCready playing some chess wizard.
The most on the run video game.
Yes. It's like all the technology in this movie is like archaic to, like, even for the time, I think.
Yeah.
Like really, really old because we're set in Antarctica, I guess, and they don't have the best kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
He loses his game of chess and then pours his drink into the machine.
Which is, like, it's amazing that if he was going to act that way to Chess Wizard, that it's taken him this long to pour it into Chess Wizard.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bode well for the rest of their trip.
No, it's true. If he just hates, like, succumbing to technology that way, like if something doesn't work right, he's like, I'll just break it. Which is, I guess, true to his character.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's like, this is definitely Kurt Russell here. Like, this is what he is like in many movies. Still the same guy, so it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so after that, it's circling in on the base where all these boys are. The helicopter is, and it comes in, and they're like, still trying to shoot at this dog that is like running around the base, and then the guy like is yelling stuff in Norwegian, and no one can speak Norwegian, so they have no idea. There's no subtitles for the Norwegian, so we don't know what they're saying. Chucks a grenade at this dog.
Yeah.
It flies out of the guy's hands backwards and blows up the helicopter that they came from.
Oh, that's a bad attempt at what he's trying to do.
Yes, maybe the worst grenade toss in history.
Yeah, that's worse than me putting my friend's humans back together.
Oh no. Yes. And so in the crossfire, the Norwegian is still trying to shoot this dog. Poor George gets like shot in the leg.
Yeah.
And goes down, and eventually the someone else from the base shoots the Norwegian guy because he's making a fuss about this dog. What's going on? Anyway, they shoot him dead. And then it's like what was that all about? And the dog's just chilling with the guys. We get a lot of good shots of this dog.
Yeah.
Throughout this opening sequence. They show it maybe too much. Just to make sure, like, there's something up with this dog. What's with that dog, you know? But yeah. Then we've got George. He's getting his leg sewn up. The bullet hole in his leg sewn up by old Wilford Brimley. Here. He's our friend, one of the doctors. I think there's 2 doctors on site. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think they call another guy Doc.
Yeah, 2 people with medical training anyway. Yeah. They're like sewing him up. And then there's another guy like rollerblading around the base to music that we can't hear. Very good. Great. Well, we're listening to Time at this point, but he's loving it. It's certainly the 80s. Yeah, got to pass the time somehow. Someone broke the chess wizard machine, so what are you going to do?
Onto the rollerblades.
Bust out the blades.
And once that's broken, the Rubik's Cube, I guess?
Well, they've got actually quite a bit of stuff. We get like a good look at the whole base, and they've got like this rec room has a pool table, and it also has like a table for playing cards and like darts and stuff. It's not like their want for entertainment down there. But it is just like a bunch of guys hanging out in Antarctica, supposedly doing science.
We don't see it.
Yeah. For the amount of science that gets done in this movie, there's like not that much to be seen. And then also this base, the one problem I have with this is that this base has a lot of dynamite and a lot of shotguns at hand for like a research facility.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the dynamite you could blow up the cabins in the ice or something.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, what were they supposed to be studying? How cold can a gun get?
Yeah, I think I justify the like flamethrowers that they have again because of like ice. If something like freezes over, having a flamethrower would be pretty handy to sort that out.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But like, yeah, some of it's the amount of guns that they have is a little questionable. Yeah, that's the one downside to this movie, I think. But
yeah, and it wasn't even that helpful when they had to deal with all the things.
Yeah, all the things. Just so many things.
Oh, I do need to ask.
Okay.
I was so proud of this. I came up with this exactly when the credits rolled.
Oh.
When John Carpenter made this film, do you think he was like, so I made a thing?
Just in the like pitch meeting, he made the whole thing. Very good.
And then when he like presented it at the premiere, it's like, so here's the thing.
Just a small thing.
All the small things.
Oh. No.
I was doing so well, and then I just started deciding to like dad joke it.
Is that a Blink 182 reference?
Yeah.
Is that there?
I think that's our second reference to all the small things on this podcast.
Oh, wow. I'll take it. Mark it on that very specific graph.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Sync 182.
Oh, no. The spin-off podcast. Where we sync everything up with all the small things only.
Yeah.
But it's just episodes of TV shows rather than full movies. Because that would get too extreme.
Yeah. So it's only like, I don't know, 10 or 20 all the small things is in a row.
Yeah. We could do that as like a mini-sode. That'd be
fun.
I select like a random Friends episode.
Ah.
Love it.
I'm down.
Sweet. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so the dog's just like chilling around the base. We're seeing like lots of little shots of the dog just wandering around, doing some stuff. Great Gig in the Sky starts up, and George immediately requests that the music be turned down, which is a little strange. Coming out of Time and going into Great Gig is like, well, it sort of has been turned down, mate. We haven't even had the vocals start up, which is the loud bit. But yeah, pretty silly. We see the dog wander into somebody's room. They're like silhouetted against the wall. It's not clear who this is. It could be like any number of people on the base that have that same kind of like hairstyle. I think like people have like put the work in and like figured out who it is, but like I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think it's like narrows it down to about like 3 or 4 different people still at the base. Oh, hang on. The issue with live recording is that someone is calling my house. That's right. Someone will get it upstairs. Hopefully. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Continuing on.
Ooh, I think we might keep that.
Yeah, keep that in. All right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Also, I think especially from Free Devadam, we're used to silhouettes kind of being a bit of a sexy thing. And this romantic ass music and this dog just walking into someone's room.
Oh yeah, what is this dog's end game? What are they up to?
Oh.
Nothing good.
No.
Yeah, so so the guys decide that they'll go and check out the Norwegian base to figure out what the hell's going on. Why did they come over? They haven't talked to them. They've had contact with them, but they haven't been interacted with them before.
Yeah.
Really. Anyway, they go down and check it out, and the whole base is burnt to shit and completely destroyed. They're this is our first warning sign that something's up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps of windows smashed. There's a bunch of stuff that's been clearly burned. They go inside, and there's a guy who's everything's been frozen over, and then there's a guy who's slit his own wrists and throat, which is pretty rough going at the start of the movie.
And we see that terrible neck injury exactly when we hear a little cash register noise for money. And not suitable.
No, that doesn't work. There's a clear anti-sync there. Yeah, they're scrounging up some notes and some video recordings from the Norwegians to try and figure out what's going on. It's all the info's in Norwegian, so they don't know.
Yeah.
They can't read any of it. And then they discover this big block of ice that something's been excavated from. They're it's just down in one room. This room is beautifully set dressed as well. Everything is pulling away from the big block of ice in the center of the room. It's just all debris and stuff pushed up against the walls, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they look at that and they're what the hell? They found something, and they're maybe it was some fossils that they found. But no, we head back outside, going back to the helicopter, and there's the body-ish that's been burned alive.
Some sort of, Rubik's Cubed person.
Yeah, we don't really get a good look at it here, but something's been burned, and they bring it back to the base. In my notes, I've written none of this fits with money. There's nothing.
No.
There's nothing money about this.
Yeah.
But hey,
I wrote not suitable music.
Well, there we go. Conclusive. Yeah. Okay. So they head on back, and the dog is watching from the window. It's standing on a wee desk, looking out. Yeah. Very undog-like.
Yeah.
And yeah, they take this body back into the base and uncover it, and we can see it's completely contorted and messed up. There's two faces conjoined together.
Yeah.
It's no good. You would think this would be a warning sign for these guys.
Yeah, they've had 2 warning signs now.
Yeah. It's already been established, but they can't contact anyone because there's a big storm rolling in Antarctica, and it's 1982, and I guess there isn't that much good communication at this time. But yeah, it's an important horror movie plot point. They can't just call someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's a really good thing about it being set in Antarctica. It's quite easy to lock it off. The stakes are high for the entire world, but because it's in Antarctica, you can tell a smaller scale story.
Yeah.
Than a big outbreak kind of thing.
It's interesting because now, they've had to do what a lot of horror movies have to do now, where they have to establish why they can't contact people and why they're already separated.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes it a lot easier, to tell the story.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. What's next? We've got... they're watching some old tapes on TV.
Yeah.
I guess because they don't have that much good entertainment, so they're just watching VHSs
of game shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes.
That would be good. It wouldn't be that good. You'd want some films. You want a copy of the thing to watch. Yeah. Maybe not if you're
that would have warned them.
Yeah. You want some what film would you want if you were trapped in an Antarctic base and you could bring one VHS to watch?
One VHS to watch. It'd probably I'd want a long one. I'd want something I can keep staring at different frames of. So something with a lot going on. It might have to be Speed Racer because everything in Speed Racer is in focus and insane.
Wow. Yeah.
But then I would return the most annoying person in the world because I would have learned from Spritle.
Oh, no.
Oh, what about you?
That's a dark vision of the future. I want to pitch it to Maddie and see what she would have.
That's another Maddie minute.
Oh, play the jingle.
Maddie, sing a jingle.
You don't have to sing your
No,
jingle.
I'm going to pass it over to you. You're the one who thought of it.
Well, I just answered it.
Yeah, no. Ingenious. The double reverse.
What would I take with me to an tucked bag?
Yeah, like
Watch
which movie would you bring? If you could only bring one movie.
Something warm? I don't know. Can you ask me at the end of the podcast?
Sure, yeah, we'll come back to you for
I
that.
have a hard
For
thing
a
the
future.
Wow.
For a future Maddie Minute.
Okay, good.
We'll return to you.
I'll come back.
I think I'd bring Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, like, if I could have them all, I would. I feel like that's a cheat, though. Probably just Two Towers, which seems like a weird choice.
Yeah.
It is the middle one, but it's also the best one, if you ask me.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's got Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Great.
Love a bit of Helm's Deep.
Yeah. Always good. Right, with that resolved for now, we'll return to that at the end.
Would Two Towers have come out on VHS?
Oh, not at the time.
Yeah.
No way.
No, totally in 2002 it would have.
Oh, maybe, actually.
My family
yeah.
was still rocking the VHS.
Yeah, I would have been like at the tail end of the generation, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it probably did. Like Fellowship would have,
Yeah.
but maybe not all of them. That would be weird.
I feel like a DVD wasn't popular until like 2005.
I can tell you what the first ever DVD I owned was.
All right, lay it on us.
The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
And I
good
watched that
film.
probably 10 times in a row on DVD.
Yeah,
Before I
great.
had to figure out the zone settings. So when DVDs first came out.
oh
That was a
man.
nightmare.
Yeah. You can't play them in like certain regions and stuff,
No.
or like, yeah, no fun.
Sorry for the
No, that's good.
That's
No,
what the
that
show's all
segue.
about.
I think that should be your
DVD
pick.
memories.
I think you should pick Empress
Even
New
though
Groove.
it was my first DVD, I
Yeah.
would still go with VHS.
Yeah.
There you go. Stands the test of time.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a good film. Boom,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh man. Okay, we got to get back. Okay. Yeah. So they're watching the old game show tapes. The dog, they realize like this dog's just been wandering around this base. This strange dog, and so they get the like kennel master guy to like take the dog to the kennels and put him away.
Yeah.
And the dog obliges, goes with him, but like sits down really weirdly in the middle of all these dogs.
Yeah.
Very slowly. It just sort of sits down like, oh yes, like the other dogs.
Hello, fellow
A
dog.
little bit too deliberate.
Yeah, it's a little sinister. The other dogs don't really seem to like mind at the moment, but after the kennel guy like goes, the kennel master is what I'm going to call him.
Ah, yes.
After he goes away, the dogs start freaking out. Something's up with this dog, and we immediately see what's going on. It transforms into like a pretty horrific monster. Do you want me to describe it or not?
Yes, but try to use the lovely... Drop it just to make it less creepy. Can
Okay.
you use some really lovely adjectives, like, that don't actually describe it? So, like, use all the nouns you need to, but all the adjectives have to be lovely.
Oh man, okay. It luxuriously, its face splits into 4 different bits, and its skull it falls lightly to the ground, light as a feather, and then like a bunch of tentacles spring forth joyously from the back of this dog. And yeah, it's the other dogs are freaking out. It sprays like a jet of stuff at a dog, like a super soaker. A kid spraying a super soaker. Is that good?
Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's as far as I'm gonna go.
I feel as if that first dog opening was a bit of a homage to Little Shop of Horrors.
Actually, yeah, very much so.
I'm not sure which came out first, but
I think Little Shop came out first, probably.
Technically, the 1950s Little Shop would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the musical before that, right?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like very monster movie kind of stuff. So it'd be cool. It would be cool if that's an intentional homage.
Yeah.
I
I
like
hope
that.
so.
I like that theory. Yeah.
Us and them is playing, and it's like, this is, the first clue that this dog might be them.
Yeah, it's not an us, which is the rest of the dogs,
Yeah.
and the them is not looking good. But yeah, the kennel owner he hears that this stuff is going down, runs back, sees this monstrosity, and is like he opens the door and frees the dogs. The dogs are like, "Get me out of here!"
Yeah.
They immediately run out. They're trying to gnaw their way through the fence before they can get
And
out.
successfully.
Yeah, these dogs are killing it. They're doing great. But yeah, they run away. Thankfully, some of them don't make it, very sadly. Other people show up and they fill this monster full of lead. Immediately, they're like, "What the hell is that?" It leaps up into the ceiling, which is no good. And then Childs comes out with a flamethrower and torches the hell out of it to destroy it, which is good. It seems to be the surefire method of getting rid of these things.
Literally the surefire method.
Yeah, exactly. Bit of the flamethrower. Very good.
We also have the man with the gun, sung by Pink Floyd, when the guns aren't working.
Yeah, this is other than the first gun with the helicopter, this is the first introduction of the base using guns, which is cool. Yeah, that aligns pretty well. Yeah. So after this ordeal, Wilford Brimley is doing an autopsy on this dog thing. He seems to be way too into this.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh wow, this is crazy," and pulling bits of the horrible puppet out of this.
Yeah.
No good. Yeah, and then he does his examination, and then he concludes that this is a thing that. Here's the thing, guys. It imitates other life forms perfectly to blend in, and then it assimilates them in order to spawn new things. It takes them in, and then they are also things.
Okay, so it grabs, pulls it in, brings it back out as the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It changes all the cells in its body. It's got to make physical contact to do so, but yeah, it changes them into a thing as well.
Yeah.
And that's how it spreads. Yeah. So that he gets all that from an autopsy, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's good at science, eh?
Yeah, I mean he's watched some sci-fi. He knows what's up.
Well, he's got his weird Atari science thing.
Yeah,
It's doing most of it. It's playing asteroids to explain cells to him.
Yeah, there's the great technology coming up in a bit. But yeah, before that we've got the Norwegians. We're looking at their old tapes and stuff of them going out and excavating something, and they've found something obviously way bigger than the little coffin thing that they found at the base. And so they're like, "Oh, weird." One of the guys triangulates where that is on a map by looking at the surrounding terrain, I guess. If he's up there in Antarctica, I guess he knows it pretty well. But yeah, he figures out where to go, and so McCready and a couple of other guys go out to check out what they found. And they get there, and it's a huge spaceship.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Big old classic UFO flying disc.
Yeah, this is the thing from the intro, the one that crashed into the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also find where the little block of ice was excavated, separate to the spaceship, notably. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that they even do this. After the whole dog fiasco the previous night, I guess they want to figure out what the fuck's going on, how all this happened, but it's pretty wild that they're going out here, and then they go down to the top of the ship and check that out as well.
Yeah.
You wouldn't catch me doing that. I'm not about to descend down into a spaceship pit.
Especially knowing that whatever this related to this is able to touch you and make you into it.
Right, yeah. This whole ship could be contaminated in some way.
Yeah, if it was a one-off thing, maybe I'd be likely to go a bit closer. But yeah, if it's got thing germs all over it.
Yeah, we don't know that the thing can't transform into inorganic material. It could be one massive thing down there. That would be bad.
Oh, that should be the thing too, is a cup morphs out into a thing, and then you're like, oh no, it could be any furniture.
Yeah, man. There's actually a really good video game like that. It's called Prey.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the monsters in that is a mimic that can just be any thing in the room. It's just a little thing that can attack you. But yeah, it's so it can be like a cup or like a pencil or anything, like anything in this game. And then like the story of the game is that like aliens broke out on a ship, very similar to the thing, and they found out like all the crew are dead, and like they found like you find rooms where like people have put like post-it notes on it, like everything in the room being like, this isn't a mimic, this isn't a mimic. Like, it's really, really cool. But yeah.
You know, there's another video game where a ghost can possess a washing machine, and that's called Pokemon Diamond.
What? That sounds great.
Yeah, you should check out this Pokemon franchise, James.
Man,
I think you'll like
I
it.
feel like I've heard it in a long forgotten dream. Yeah, okay, so they've checked out the ship. And then we're into Eclipse now. As we're talking about like some government conspiracies and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, aliens, man, it's real though. They've been on Earth for ages. Our one friend who believes in all the ancient aliens is like chiming in.
Yeah.
It's great. He says they own like half of South America or something crazy like that, which is alright.
Let's pull it out, why not?
Okay, man. Yeah, alright. He's talking about like the Mayans and stuff.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic. Classic pre-actual 2012.
Yeah, maybe in this world he's right, because
Yeah.
like aliens are real, I guess. So there you go. Yeah, our first playthrough of the album wraps up over the premium computer graphics that you described earlier, the little asteroids game.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I think, yeah, Wilford Brimley like spent a long time while the guys were exploring the spaceship. He was making this on his computer for like hours. Yeah, it sort of like runs through again how this thing assimilates other cells and then transforms them.
Yeah.
And then his computer has a little readout that says, this is completely silent when this is happening, that says the probability that one of the crew is infected is 75%, and that it'll take, if it gets out of Antarctica, it'll take 27,000 hours for the entire world to be assimilated.
That's messed up.
Which is not long.
No. Wow.
Yeah, it's like about just over a month, I think.
Yeah, 27. Oh, wouldn't it be like 1,000 days?
1,000 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it.
So like 3-4 years.
Okay. Yeah. That's still a while.
Yeah.
But
still not long
too
enough.
quick. But yeah. Oh yeah, it's not.
Because once a certain percentage of people are things, you kind of society's not really going to work.
Yeah, it's not looking good for society at that point. Yeah, so it's stressing out Wilford Brimley. He's like, he has like a wee whiskey to himself.
Fair enough.
So the lads decide that they're going to move the like corpses of these monsters into a room where they can't get out, and so they like lock it in a room. There's a bit of like people going into different rooms, talking with each other, like because now they're all suspecting each other of being things.
Yeah,
and so they're worried about people acting weirdly and like hiding in their rooms alone and things like that. They're all being quite suspicious. And yeah, like McCready gets pulled aside and like gets read an account of like the what's happened at the Norwegian base has been like translated.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's some horrific stuff.
Yeah.
Basically about like people like everyone dying. Yeah, no good.
Yeah. No wonder McCready's in a bad mood.
Yeah. So
the rest of the movie.
Windows, our like radio person, like contact person, he's hanging out with George in this room. They're the ones transporting the bodies, and then like he gets like distracted or something. He has to run. He comes back after moving something, and sees that George is being assimilated by the monster in the corner, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And so they all run back, but like he goes and grabs McCready and the other guy from the chopper where they're having the conversation, but when they get back, he's already gone. George has already burst out the window. On the Run starts playing, and he's like standing there. We don't get to hear this like horrific scream from George as he's standing there with like crazy hands, like really long fingers. He lets out this horrible scream, and then they just roast him with the flamethrower. Pretty stressful.
Yeah, them running around on the ice works well with On the Run.
Oh yeah,
in a very similar way to Fast and the Furious. Which did make me wonder, like, who's going to be more surprised as if the Thing sees Vin and the boys driving their cars and escaping like a cruise ship that's crashing through the ice, or if Vin and the boys turn their car and see the Thing.
Oh my god. The crossover that nobody wanted, but except for us.
Thing Diesel.
Oh no. One of the like family gets assimilated.
Oh no.
Truly sad.
Oh.
I don't think they could come back from that one.
No, that family's been through a lot, but
not Thing assimilation.
No.
That we know of.
Stay tuned for the Thing in the Furious.
Maybe. The Fast and Furious Thing.
That's good.
We'll take it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. What happens now? We've got so George is now dead. MacReady's very sensible here and decides that he wants to burn the other bodies too.
Yeah.
They were keeping them because they were like, oh, it's like a scientific marvel. Like, we're scientists. We're all scientists here. Let's get rich from the science thing that we found. But no, not if it's going to start taking people over and killing them. So MacReady's like, let's take the bodies out and burn them. So they do that. Which is a very sensible horror movie thing.
Yeah, very rare, sensible.
Yeah, the thing I like most about The Thing, Gareth, is that, everyone does the right thing. There's no yelling at the screen.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, you should have done this, you should have done this. Everyone is being very smart about it. They make the right calls pretty much all the time. It's just that they're sort of set up to fail. In a way, right?
And even when they disagree, people are doing different versions of the right thing.
Exactly, yeah. There's like usually only good ideas, but they're just all at odds with each other and they can't trust each other, and that's what brings them down, you know?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a lesson to be learned, but like it's just sometimes it sucks.
Yeah,
maybe
that's the lesson.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks.
But yeah, I think that MacReady does the right thing here. So we pan up from the fire as On the Run ends here. And then all the clocks are going off and they can't find one of the crew, Blair, who is the Wilfred Brimley guy, I think. They're all going to meet up in the rec room. And Blair's acting like suspicious and like running out on his own, and they like don't know what's going on. And so MacReady goes out and he checks the helicopter, which has been sabotaged. It's been destroyed by somebody. And we're like, what the hell? That's weird. And then we go back, and we get called back inside because Wilford Brimley's going nuts. He can't cope with the idea that one of them is infected, and so he's destroying basically any way out that the thing could take. Because it's now potentially a human, it could fly a helicopter and then get to the mainland and start wreaking havoc, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's why he's destroyed the helicopter, and he starts destroying the communication equipment as well, in case like they call like help and then get out that way. He's again like making the right call, but like he's panicking and like is destroying stuff with an axe. Yeah. Which is also bad.
Yeah.
And poor Windows is like in the same room as him, like crouched in the corner, clearly been like beat in the head or something. Yeah.
Why is he called Windows? Has that been explained?
I think it's just because he's like a nerd and he has glasses. I guess it's like one of those old school Revenge of the Nerds as nicknames. Yeah, bloody Windows. Maybe because he's like the computer guy.
Oh yeah, they would have Windows by then, right?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah. And there's also a character called Mac, because MacReady, and they are at odds.
It's all led up to the old Mac versus Windows advert.
Yeah.
One of them is the Thing in that ad, and you have to tell us which one.
It's totally Justin Long, not John Hodgman.
Justin Long, secretly the Thing?
I think so.
More news at 11.
I've seen him in person, so am I the Thing?
Uh-oh. Did you shake his hand?
No.
Stressful times. Okay, I said that like 75% chance that one of us on the couch is the Thing. Yeah, it's looking more. I'm trusting you less and less as the podcast goes.
And ever since your cat hopped off the couch, the percentages got higher.
That's true. It could well be me because I've been in contact with an animal. Oh no! Like maybe she's the dog of this situation. You know, patient zero.
And we are recording this in Antarctica.
Yeah, as always. It's getting colder as we speak because they've had to turn the heat pump off to record. Anyway, the doctor, he's again making the right call, but like freaking out, and he's sort of explaining his point of view as he's doing this. He's like, the thing wanted to become a human because they're more resilient. They can like make their way through the cold and stuff where a dog couldn't, you know. He knows it's like intelligent as well, and he's freaking out. They managed to take him down through use of like he runs out of bullets in his gun, and then like throws his gun at the wall, which is in frustration, which is hilarious. But yeah, they subdue him by like using a table as a shield and like battering him against the wall.
Oof.
And then they like lock him away in a little shack outside so that he can't do any more harm. because they can't trust him to like break more stuff, you know. And it could also be the Thing. Who knows? He could be doing it like for Thing reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
That Thing could be one step ahead.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. They take a wee blood sample from him as well. And he like offers a warning to McCready, being like, "Watch Clark." Like, he doesn't trust one of them. Clark, I think, is the kennel guy.
Yeah, Clark is the kennel master.
The kennel master.
Ken Al Master.
That's his full name and title. So the plan is that they're going to do like a blood test to figure out who is human. Like in theory, that'll work. They'll be able to like determine based on like cell structure and stuff who is human. And so they're going to mix it with
blood they know is clean
to
see if it tries to assimilate that blood.
Yeah. And they also have their own like blood samples on hand because they're in the middle of nowhere. So just in case there's an accident that happens, they've got like little blood bags stored away in always safe.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's also been sabotaged. And the only people that have the key, one person has access to it and the other person has the key.
Yeah.
And so it could be either of them that's the thing.
Yeah.
And neither of them are fessing up.
No.
Because it's...
Things don't fess.
No, yeah. They aren't snitches. Things ain't snitches. So they're like, oh, shit. So they have to tie them up and put them in a room and watch them. It's getting worse and worse, this situation. No one can trust anyone anymore. Someone's out there sabotaging stuff. There's like a big argument that happens, but eventually they cool off. And then, so the one of the guys that has the key is the chief of the place, and so he like relinquishes control.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm no longer the leader, and he offers it to somebody who isn't up for it, and then Charles is like, I'll take it, and McCready's like, we need someone more chill.
Yeah, he actually like really zings him. He's like, we need someone more stable.
Yeah, and so he just takes it himself. He means him when he says that. Which, I don't know. I don't know if he's the best choice. McCready's plans involve a lot of blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
So...
even his most sane, sensible thing is still like, we're gonna use fire.
Yeah. He solves a lot of his problems with fire.
Yeah. So. Which didn't work from him, in the mainland, but it's working quite well in Antarctica.
As a like thing to live by, usuly doesn't work. But in this situation, perfect. Ideal for this one situation.
Yeah.
So they like lock these guys down, and then McCready offers like a big speech about like what they're gonna do to Great Gig. He's like, we're gonna flush it out. Like, it's one of you. It's standing among you right now, and like they're gonna get rid of it and make sure it doesn't get to the mainland. Is like, the mission here. And then we go into money as they're taking like blood from people to test.
Yeah.
And McCready records a little like audio log on a little dictaphone.
Yeah.
Very Twin Peaks. I love it. Just like setting a record. I guess this if they do use this in the thing too, that's a good thing for it. I keep saying thing. That's impossible.
Oh my god,
it's such a common word.
Maybe that's why, because it's such a common word. They like. It sneaks into your vocabulary and it's so unnoticed, much like the thing itself.
Whoa. At the end of this...
Was that smart?
No,
was it?
Well, no. Go, keep going.
MacReady's little note at the end of this is that the thing rips through clothes when it takes people over. Is something that he figures out. And yeah, he says nobody trusts anybody, and we're all very tired.
Oh,
which is
aren't we all on
his little sign off. Yeah, it sums up 2020. So the test planning is going well. He checks in with somebody about it, but then the power goes out. Somebody's flicked the power off.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit. A guy called Fuchs runs outside and like finds MacReady's jacket that's been ripped, which is just after MacReady has said that ripped clothing is a sign of the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, tensions are high. And yeah, they don't know who's done it. It could have been any one of the guys who's like tied up, who sabotaged the blood, because it can't be any of them because they were all there and they had people watching them. So like, who was it? Yeah. So they go consult the doctor in the shack. Our friend Blair or Wilfred Brimley he's made a wee noose.
Yeah, that was worrying.
Which is stressful in case things go bad.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Hanging it up from the ceiling there. But he says he's all good.
Yeah. And
he'd like to come inside now. You know, a thing that someone standing next to a noose would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, they aren't going to take that chance and they leave him in there. It turns out this is like a ruse. Like, at this point, I think Wilfred Brimley has been infected by the thing.
Yeah.
And this is him, like, playing dumb while he builds a wee spaceship.
Yeah, he's, like, double bluffing them really well.
It's crazy, yeah. It shows how, like, super intelligent this monster is, which is sweet. Yeah, they find Fuchs, the guy that they couldn't find before. They found his body in the snow, which has been burned, and his glasses are there. They don't know, like, if he burned himself or if the thing burned him.
Yeah.
It's all up in the air. Not looking good. So they get the... What happens next? Oh, yeah, so MacReady's little shack, his little zone that he hangs out in, suddenly has the lights on as well. And so they have to go and investigate that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the two guys, MacReady and another guy, go up and investigate that. And they're nailing all the doors shut in the base. But the guy who was with MacReady runs back with it because he discovers the ripped jacket. And he's like, oh god, MacReady, cut him loose. And so he's stuck out there in the snow, in the snowstorm, because he doesn't trust him and he found the ripped clothing, you know? So he's a suspect now, but they aren't sure that he's the thing. So they're either condemning an innocent man to a death in the snow, or they're inviting the thing back into the base, you know? And so it's a really tough call.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like, a lot of opinions flying around. But yeah, they don't know what to do. So yeah, they bust into like where MacReady's hiding in the shack, and MacReady's holding a flamethrower and the dynamite and threatens to blow everybody up.
Yeah.
If they don't listen to him, which would kill several of them, but it protects himself. So yeah, they go all the way back to the base. One of the guys at this point goes down. He's like has like a heart attack from the stress of all this.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they take him to the hospital while MacReady's still like threatening to kill everybody else. But it turns out this guy that had the heart attack was the thing.
Yes.
His like tummy opens up into a lovely little mouth, and
thank you for using that.
And
beautiful teeth.
Yeah, beautiful teeth. Lovely. Well taken care of inside of the stomach. Harder to brush those ones. Yeah, clamps down on the doctor's hands who was using the defibrillator on him. Really rough. So they both transform into the thing. This guy's head just like decides to make a break for it.
Yeah.
As the body gets burned by MacReady.
It stretches off.
Yeah, and then like uses its like extendable tongue to like pull itself over and away from the fire. The thing is very resilient.
Yeah, the head's getting out of the way as Pink Floyd sing Out of the Way. And,
Yeah.
Wow. I often think about those kind of spider legs, though. Like, sometimes when I'm real lazy, I wish I had my little, like, my spine could just grow some spider legs.
Oh.
And, like, scuttle me around.
Well, have I got the treatment for you?
Oh. Just take 10 cc's of the thing.
Of the thing, and you'll be able to basically have any form that you want, you know? Like,
What would you thingify yourself to have?
I don't know. Anything I want, really.
Yeah.
Like, you can, any organic thing that it's come in contact with it can transform into, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like an abomination. I don't know. I like the little extendy eye stalks that this gets.
Yeah.
The little periscope eyes.
If you moved with a bird, you could fly.
Yeah, that would be useful.
Yeah.
Moved
Oh,
with a
man.
fish, you might be able to breathe underwater.
Lucky there aren't like heaps of like flying birds around this Antarctic base, because that would have been really bad. This thing would have
Yeah.
gotten out of there real quick.
Oh, what if it became, like, slightly penguinish? Like, it's been hanging out with some penguins?
And then it makes its way to New Zealand, and it's
No.
all over. Yeah.
It marches.
March of the Penguins was a cautionary tale. Is what we've learned here.
Mm.
I feel bad, Maddie, that we've, like, hyped you up as a guest, but you kind of didn't want to be, and you're just politely sitting, but it sounds like we're just two bros really speaking over you.
I mean, I'm learning a lot about the two of you. I'm
Yeah.
learning that it sounds as if you're actually quite squirmish
Yeah.
around these sorts of things.
I think around, the thing, I can be a bit squirmish.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't have picked it.
Really?
There you
How
go.
do you deal with... last time you were hanging out with the thing, how did you deal?
I mean, I enjoyed the film, and I enjoyed kind of watching everything. I just thought it was. I feel like I'm going to make you squeamish.
Please use kind, lovely adjectives.
Look, it's just good to know.
Yeah.
And James clearly enjoyed the film.
We pride ourselves on being an educational podcast.
But
Yeah.
are you also do you enjoy films like
Not
like
usually.
the Saw films?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, no.
No,
That's
I
another
wouldn't say
level.
that this film is on that same level. It's not really like torture for the sake of it. It's just like horrible things are happening. I feel like all the like crazy stuff is sort of justified in this movie,
Yeah.
and it's more of like an alien story than like a full blown horror movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I equate it more with like something like Alien, which I also love. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually am very squeamish, but again, I think it's the practical effects are so outlandish that I can't even, like, it doesn't even register to me as, like, human anatomy anymore
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
Side note, I think I really enjoyed the call that the man undertaking the autopsies conducted whilst opening up these bad boys.
Yeah.
Like, he seemed he didn't
It
have
was,
any questions.
very chill.
He
with it.
was just like, right, getting on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a lot of doctors are like that as well. Like surgeons and stuff get very like accustomed to blood and gore and stuff because that's just their day job, right? So it was probably like,
Especially when there's three heads.
yeah. Well, this would have been a little bit weird for it, but he'd probably be like fine with like the gore bit of it, I guess. But yeah, it's like this sure is a dog inside of a man's body, but okay.
Strange things.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Very uncommon, but you know.
Do you think Stranger Things is called Stranger Things because it's like, it's taking the 80s kind of aesthetic and updating it, so it's like it's the thing but stranger?
It's a direct sequel to The Thing. I kind of love that. I don't think that's true, but I like that theory.
Oh.
If it's revealed like freaking McCready just shows up in like season 4, that would be incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on.
I don't think he's gonna be
Maybe not.
really making it from Antarctica to
No. Not at the end of this film.
No.
No, it's not looking good. Yeah. So the little head turns into a wee spider and tries to get away, but it also gets torched.
Yeah.
Which, thank goodness. So that's one less thing to worry about. Yeah, so again, we're back in the, like, rec room that's been, like, transformed now to this, like, testing facility, and they're all arguing about, like, McCready's gonna conduct, like, a test about lighting the blood on fire. He was like, take blood samples, and then because he has a theory that since the thing has such a strong survival instinct that it will try and get away from, and they'll be able to test it by trying to attack the cells.
Yeah.
So there'll be a reaction when he tries to do that. Tries to attack it. The little kennel guy is not on board with him being in charge, and like feigns that he is fine with it. He like sneaks over and is like, maybe we should trust him. Like it will work out fine. Childs is not stoked with it.
Yeah.
But it's all a ruse to try and stab him, and McCready shoots him dead.
Yeah, just straight up murders him.
Yep.
And he's not even a thing.
No, like, yeah, they do the test later and it turns out he's just a human who, like, didn't trust McCready. Like, in his defense, McCready had the whole ripped jacket thing, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
We can't trust him either, you know?
Yeah. I would say that this band has started playing different tunes.
Very true. It's a real us and them situation.
Yeah.
If we want to keep using...
In fact, I'd say getting a thing assimilating your cells is a form of brain damage.
Whoa, that's what's playing now. They've got they've got to figure out who's who with the blood testing. Which one's which, who is who,
Yeah.
etc.
Thank you.
Yes. So yeah, they start testing blood. They offer up the samples to him by like cutting their little thumbs, which is just honestly that's like the worst, the most squeamish part of the movie.
Way
Yeah.
to actually draw blood.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it's gross.
And you know that's going to hurt for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh.
Idiots.
Fools all. So they grab the blood and then they start testing them. Windows is safe. They test him first, and so he goes up to watch everyone else to make sure nobody moves. McCready tests his own blood next, and he's safe. He's a human. They test the two guys that are dead, and both of them were human, which is pretty rough. So they got killed by accident, effectively. But then they go to test Palmer, who is a baddie and transforms. That he is one of the things, at least.
Yeah.
And he's still tied to the couch that the rest of the guys are on, like mid-transformation. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Manages to, like, break through the thing tying it down there, the ropes and stuff, and gets up and, like, attacks and kills Windows as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to describe that one. That's too rough.
I've got, because his face kind of turns into a real demon grin when the little laugh plays in Pink Floyd. And this is the first time I've taken notes on my phone, and I tried to write explodes, and I've written Wixplukt, which I think really sums up what happens with that thing.
That's like an onomatopoeia. That's like exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly.
Dang. Oh, man. Yeah, pretty gross. Anyway, McCready tortures this one, and it's all good. Moving on. And they just go back to testing. Like nothing. There's like a burnt thing in the room.
I guess they are scientists and have proved their method works.
Yeah, quite clearly.
Yeah.
Before this is a really cool shot of the blood hitting the floor and then travelling towards where Palmer is sitting as well, which I really love.
How do you reckon they did that? Would that have just been like a series of tilted floor?
I
or
guess
like
so, yeah.
magnetized liquid?
I think they would have had, like, maybe magnetized liquid. That would be a cool way. I think, how I would have done it would have, like, a big enough surface that could be the floor and attach
the camera to it.
Yeah,
and then it kind of tilts around.
Yeah. That's so it looks like the floor's not moving and have uniform light as well, so that it doesn't...
There were a few shots and, like, scenes where they clearly had to have done some kind of tilted action when the, that zombie thing, possessed humans suddenly rising to the ceiling.
As you
That's
do.
not natural.
No, not typical.
You can't train for that one.
They didn't get like an Olympic high jumper.
Yeah. Probably using ropes and stuff for that, I'd hope. But but not just real things that they have on hand. They just go back to testing. And it's they just keep going. This is where the album ends for the second time. We're going to play through 2. They test Childs and then Gary. Gary's the ex-leader guy.
Yeah, with the frozen eyebrows.
Yeah. His eyebrows are like stark white in comparison to the rest of his hair.
The real Elsa of Antarctica.
Yeah. He's telling everyone to let it go, but they won't listen. And they're both safe. It seems like everyone else is all good. Except the only loose end is old Blair, Wilford Brimley, out in the shack.
Yeah.
He's the only one left to be tested, and so they've got to go and check on him, and so they do that, but the door's wide open.
Oh.
And he's escaped by like a little secret tunnel underneath the shack.
Tried to cover his tracks.
Yeah, and he's been building his wee spaceship down there out of helicopter parts.
He's very good at building spaceships.
Yeah, so he's only been out here like maybe like a day and a half tops, and he's built like half a spaceship, which is pretty crazy.
Nah, I can't even choose a good font in a day and a half.
Oh no.
My spaceship wouldn't have got past its cool little sticker that I'm going to put on it.
Maybe with the assistance of a thing helping you out. You'd get the drive to get the work done, you know? Gives you some more spring in your step, that's for sure.
That's why you always see people in corporate parties doing thing.
Yeah, doing thing. Yeah, all those go-getters
what
out
do you
there.
think Limitless was about?
Things!
It was just the thing.
The thing in pill form. Love it. Maybe we should do Limitless next. That'd be great. Okay, we're nearly there. We got to get through this. So they go out there to like check on the spaceship, but on the way back, the power goes out in the base again.
Yeah.
And so that shows that Wilford Brimley Blair is in the base somewhere. And they're like, shit. Because they're all outside and they can't get back in.
Yeah, and they're in the Antarctic and we'll freeze.
Yeah, it's not good. So McCready decides that he's like, okay, none of us are making it out of this. We need to like start destroying everything so that if we don't survive, it doesn't survive.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's blow everything up is the plan. So he gets some like dynamite and starts like distributing it around the different parts of the base. They blow up all the little like offshoots first, or the shack and McCready's little house thing as well as the little watchtower thing. They all get blown up, and then they're blowing up different parts of the base as well. They burst their way in with like the like a forklift kind of thing, and then start blowing things up. The on-the-run explosion does align, Crashdown does align with an explosion, which is nice. Always good when that happens. Again, a lot of explosions going off.
Yeah, the odds of it timing up with something, but
we'll take it. But yes, the power generator itself, unfortunately, has been blocked off by like a small fire and is also destroyed. So they're screwed. They can't get the power back on, and so everyone is guaranteed dead. Like, at this point in the film. So they're like, okay, the plan is that they just blow everything up with dynamite. Like, whatever. But down here, they're down in, like, the tunnels that, I guess, were under here the whole time.
Yeah?
Not fully explained why there's, like, subterranean tunnels.
Maybe.
It's
very efficient.
I mean, that wouldn't have just been sitting around there.
Yeah. He'd, like, made all this in, like, a short amount of time, though. Pretty impressive. From like bits of helicopter.
Yeah. Unless has he been a thing for a while?
Oh, maybe. That's a cool theory.
And then a new thing has shown up in the form of the dog?
Ooh.
Oh, but then we've seen him alone.
Yeah.
On camera.
Can't have been...
Yeah. That's always... Every shapeshifter movie, that's your rule, is like, any character you've seen alone. So we see McCready alone.
Yeah.
You know he can't be the
He can't be the thing, but yeah, so he shows up. There's a brief handshake. He shows up and finds Gary and assimilates him, like shoves his hand into his face.
Yes.
Pretty gross.
Old
putty.
Yeah.
Digging Away is sung by Pink Floyd as he digs away into his face.
Grisly. Yeah. And then Knowles also spots something and wanders off. Like he sees the thing, wanders off to try and stop it, I guess, but also he just disappears from the film.
Yeah.
Like, potentially could have gotten away, but unlikely.
No.
Because then tentacles erupt from the floor, Gareth.
Yes.
In a terrifying manner. The very comedic one, like, shoots out and grabs the little plunger that they were going to use to blow the base up with.
It's like, mine now.
Yeah, pulls it back into its little tunnel. And then the thing itself erupts from the floor as well. And is like half human, half dog from before.
Yeah.
And it's most, like, glorious, I would say.
Yeah.
Most established form. It's killed a lot of people. And then, McCready says, fuck you too. And he blows up the whole base. He, like, throws a stick of dynamite into, like, some barrels, I think.
Yeah, they've got a lot of oily barrels.
Yeah, somehow survives this. Presumably the thing dies. And then in the wreckage, he's like wandering around, finds like a little place to rest, and then Childs walks up, who we haven't seen in a while as well.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty much guaranteed that one of them is the thing, but they don't know which. They can't like possibly like tell which is which, so they're just like, all right, yeah.
Oh, well.
They're both dead anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so they're just gonna sit there, and chill for a little bit. At this great gig starts up as they're like, and that has the line, "I'm not frightened of dying." That whole little ad lib, as they've resigned themselves to death here.
Yeah.
And then they share a wee bottle of whiskey.
And even things like whiskey.
Yeah. They're just like, I taste nothing.
Yeah.
Human thing.
Yeah. And then credits. That's it, baby.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a horrific tale.
Oh yeah.
How did you fare throughout?
How did I fare?
Yes.
I felt some fear of things.
Oh.
But golly, what a film.
Yeah. What did you think? How did it sink? Lay it on me.
Okay. I was real worried that I don't know, it wasn't us. We were in some sort of rut. We'd been, down in the 3s and the 2s for ages. But
Oh yeah.
much like a thing's tentacle emerging through the
Bursting
snow.
from the floor.
Yeah. I think we've got like an 8 on our
Whoa.
warped alien hands.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm ready to scream out in the snow about that one. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good. I'm happy with 8. You happy with 8, Maddie?
Heck yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, emphatic. Okay, that's pretty conclusive.
Oh my gosh.
Sweet. All that's left to do, Gareth, you tell me what we're doing next. Do you know? Do you have a plan?
Had you decided?
Is
I
it-
had decided, but you've mentioned Limitless, and I'm like,
Oh, maybe.
Because like, if anyone's on the Limitless pills, it's the members of Pink Floyd. But
That's true.
we've also, we've established a pattern, is my first kind of thing I'm going to have to point out. And also, we've had a good time, we've been brought back from fear. Fear is what has brought us back to the higher numbers.
Oh.
So I'm like, what do rock stars fear, We've got what would Pink Floyd fear? And I was like, what do rock stars fear? And I was like, So I switched on the Rock FM and I was like, show me what you fear. And they said teenagers scare the living shit out of me. On
Oh.
this one popular rock song.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, who are the scariest teenagers?
I like this back and forth that you're having with a radio in this scenario.
Like a real life is like Son of Sam.
Yeah.
I took off my tinfoil hat and I was like, enter me radio waves.
Wow.
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Yep.
Who's the scariest teenagers, especially to rich old rock stars? And the scariest teenagers are the bling ring teenagers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So we've had the sting, we've had the thing. Let's get to the bling ring.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Keeping it going.
Oh,
All right. I'm happy with that. We'll
I'm
lock
happy
that
with
one
that.
in.
Yeah.
For next week.
A little bit of Sophia Coppola
Yeah.
beauty.
For ages, the only Sofia Coppola movie I'd seen.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? What a vast variety.
Yeah.
She has to offer.
And what a
Wonderful.
betrayal of my Bill Murray stanship that I
Yeah.
haven't seen Lost in Translation.
That's okay.
You haven't seen it?
I've seen it now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the Bone Ring. I think it's,
Yeah, it's a good
when
one.
you don't get to see Emma Watson as Hermione, it's always a treat.
It is,
Yeah.
As
That's
a
true.
weird, psychotic American teenager.
Yeah.
Into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't be there, but I'll be rooting for you guys.
Aw.
The fun thing about us is we hang out outside of the show. The fun thing about the three of us is we're
Yeah.
friends.
Whereas, Gareth and my relationship is strictly business.
Yeah. We sometimes Discord chat each other for the show and don't
And
even
then don't
catch
talk.
up.
Yeah, it's just recording, and then I've actually got to go. So,
Yeah. Must eat my dinner.
Yeah. Anyway,
How long have you guys known each other now, though?
oh, long time.
Yeah, 13 years.
Some would say too long, and that we have a weird podcast together.
Yeah.
Hey, that's okay.
This isn't a just meet you kind of podcast idea.
Yeah, everyone's already turned off the podcast, but we better do the sign off.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, live from James's house,
Yeah.
looking at a cat. I've been Gareth Blacklow.
I've been James Barron.
And until next time, we'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
On the dark side of the moon. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We finally made eye contact. We hadn't made eye contact all episode.
Oh no.